Tech, could we have the first slide, please? Phantom 1. There we go. Okay, so going back in time. There's a company called Fru.
I'm gonna give you the mic back.
The mic back. Hello, Mike. I'm back. Okay, so there's a company called Fru. They have been publishing the Phantom comic for 80 years now.
Really?
I think it's. Fru may have taken over from somebody, from King Features or whoever they got the license from. But the Phantom has been published non-stop for 80 years in Australia.
I had no idea.
Neither did I. So about 20 years ago, I think, the company contacted me and a bunch of other artists to do a set of trading cards. And so being, I'm just playing Crazy About Things with Wings, as you can see with my Avro Arrow shirt here. I did
the by the way, the Avro Arrow Hawaiian shirt is great.
Thank you. Yeah. My dad would have flown this plane had John Diefenbaker not canceled it. Don't get me started. Actually, I sort of assuage my feelings of rage by realizing that with the savings, all Canadians got universal health care. So,
I mean, yeah.
What should be better, like cool planes or healthcare?
I do like a cool plane, but I'm not gonna. That's no contest for me.
Exactly. So anyway, I drew him. I was building a model of this plane, which is the XB51. So I drew that in the background. I had literally just turned it in when I thought, wait, the Phantom. It should have been a Phantom. Duh.
Oh.
So I blew that. Okay, flash forward 10 years. Next slide, please. And I met this wonderful man, whose name is Duncan Monroe, who is an extraordinary individual. He's a writer. He's an actor. He's also in the state police force. He is also the CEO of the Prince of Wales Light Horse Regiment of the Australian Army. Here he is trying to sell me a used tank.
How much does the used tank go for?
Well, we didn't sell on a price, actually. Like shipping would have been like a real issue.
Right.
So bring in the tank.
So you're keeping it in Australia as your
Exactly. That's my ride in Australia.
It's your summer tank.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. So, flash forward 10 years, which is about 10 years ago, maybe. Anyway, Duncan is at a conference. And of course, everywhere he goes in the world, the first thing he checks is, are there any comic conventions on? Because he's like an uber Phantom fan. His Phantom collection is just absolutely breathtaking and like really super well curated as well. So I told him my tale of woe and regret. And he said, well, I know. Why don't I commission you to redo it and get the plane right this time, you dope? I said, yes, thank you. So here we are in Calgary. Some years ago, and I redid the cover. Next slide. And there it is. So, yay! Got it right this time. So then last year, I spent a bunch of time hanging out with Duncan, and he had written a number of Phantom stories already for Fru, and he pitched me the idea for a story because he knew that I'm just playing Crazy About Things with Wings, and I'd love to, do a Phantom story. And he just, he just nailed the character and the kind of story I would love to illustrate. So we pitched it to the publisher, they bit, and away we went. So I thought the viewers, would find this of interest. Here's how the comic played out. So next slide. So this is the script that he sent me. I will break the story down in little thumbnails like that. And originally I was going to do it in 2-page spreads. The reason I work the way I do in full color and not, for the most part, in black and white with either digital or mechanical color, is because I was very influenced by British comics like Dan Dare and so on. And there's an artist named Frank Bellamy who did Thunderbirds, and I was crazy about that. So I was originally going to do it in 2-page spreads, and then realized I had no idea how the pages would be printed. They would always have to be in spreads, obviously. So it wasn't going to work, and that's why he says, sorry, Frank, but nope. So you can see the layouts in the bottom are spreads, and thought, no, this will not work. So I went back to traditional layouts. Next slide. So I draw it the size it's going to be printed. I have no idea why I use red pencil. I just really like the way the red pencil looks, and then I can do outlining panel borders and word balloons in blue to differentiate them. By the way, one of my other great embarrassing moments was going to a store and getting one of these red pencils and taking it to the cashier and saying, "Is this pencil erasable?" And she looked at it for a minute and said, considering that there's an eraser on the end of it, I would say yes. And I said, "I was just testing." Give me that. Next slide. So from there, I will then scan that into InDesign and start putting the text fields in. Traditionally, lettering is done as it's integral to the artwork, and I think it's really important that in terms of storytelling, especially, that the word balloons and text fields and captions and so on. That is a very big consideration, both in terms of the storytelling, where the eye tracking, and also compositional elements. It makes it so much easier to do this part digitally, because I want to do the whole thing as traditionally as possible. But it means that you can move the balloons around a bit. If you want to tweak up the copy a bit, you can do that. Next slide. So now at that point, I start roughing in the pencils, actual size. Next slide. And then you can see these are the very tight pencils.
How big are these pieces of paper?
11 by 17.
Whoa.
The first ones were 8.5 by 11. This is now the full-size artwork at 11 by 17.
Which will get shrunk back down.
Yes.
Later,
yes.
right?
Everything looks better when it's shrunk
Yeah.
back down. At least in comics.
Yeah.
Next slide. So here it is in black and white. I printed out the pencils in blue, and then I ink on top of that. And then it gets scanned, and the blue lines are digitally removed. And at this point, we weren't sure, because most of the Phantom comics, which are produced, I think they're bi-weekly. They're up to issue number 2000 and something or other, 2008, I think. So we thought it might be in black and white. We were lobbying hard for color, but they don't do a lot of color comics down there. Color covers, but black and white interiors. So I thought, okay, let's make it work in black and white. So next slide. So I added all these gray tones to just sort of give it, make it a bit more robust. But then they said, okay, we're going to do a special issue just for Supernova, for the comic shows, for you guys to sign. We're going to do it in color. And so next slide. So I digitally colored it.
Whoa.
And I'm so glad I was able to do that, because nobody abuses color like Ken.
By the way, I've always said that about you.
Yeah, why, thank you.
Your text box also became 3 text boxes.
Yes, because exactly. Well spotted.
Thank you.
Because it just read better. To go copy. So you may recall a Desert Bus of some years ago when I had cataract surgery.
Oh yeah.
And this was absolutely, because remember, like they do one eye and then 2 weeks later they do the other. So it's confusing to have one eye working and one eye not. So remember, I'd taken a photograph of one of my eyes and I digitally put in like a little reticle, so it had a crosshair on it. So like this. Anyway, those are the days. So I discovered, and I'm evangelical about this. Anybody who is considering having cataract surgery, go for it. It was absolutely life-changing. I had been not realizing I had not seen white paper in years, because the cataracts were, putting this sort of haze over everything. And I realized that I was probably, the reason I used such bright colors is I was compensating for the fact that I couldn't actually see things properly. Of course, I also just like really bright colors anyway. So there you go. And then next slide. And also for all the artists out there, it's a really good idea to check your values in terms of the artwork, because you can have a very colorful piece of artwork, but it can still look kind of flat if the values are similar. So the values are simply the relative light and darkness of any color. So I would always take it in, scan it in, and then change it to grayscale, and then change it back again just to see does it read properly in black and white, just as a value study. Next slide. So the cover was done quite differently, because the cover was actually a commission for Duncan. So this is done on Canson paper, which is this lovely, lovely gray paper. And it's wonderful for lazy artists like me, because your mid-range is already done for you. You don't have to think about it. So it's all the shadows and highlights. So this is all done in brush marker and Prismacolor pencils. Next slide. Thank you. And then I'll block in the local color with the airbrush, which I hate using. I was the airbrush guy, for years.
Yeah. So I thought that was your whole thing. You're so good
It was
at
my
it.
thing, but it doesn't mean I like it because, you have to wear a respirator and there's an extraction fan.
I'm good at it, but it sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
And, Joan would come in the studio and there'd be this kind of purple haze in the air. And I love telling this story too because when the kids were little, sorry, Alex, we had a diaper service, and cloth diapers are like the best thing for artists to like wipe their brushes on. And so one time a friend came in and looked at on my tabaret, and here was one of these diapers, these multicolored diapers. He said, "My God, what do you feed your kids?" so anyway, yeah, it's just. I mean, I really want to learn how to paint, and for years now I've been trying to get away from the airbrush and do the same sort of things without having to lean on this tool. But in terms of its effect, I still love what it does. It's just, because imagine every single area of color there was covered with a piece of frisket, of film.
Right.
So you have to peel it off, spray it, put it back on, spray the next peel, take it off, put it on. Yuck. Anyway.
Just 15 minutes left in the
Okay.
$8.90 overlay. I'm looking at the overlay. Sorry.
And what do you
giveaway.
feed your kids, Stacey?
They end in the same syllable. Anyway, $8.90 giveaway for an amazing lot of Astro Boy memorabilia signed by Mari Shimizu, the voice actor for Astro Boy, provided by Ken. We'll take a look back on it again when.
And some of it is practical
in a
too.
moment.
It's wearable.
Yeah.
Okay, so next slide, please. So there's what it looks like finished. So then we
Dang.
go from just all the blocked in color to then I go in with Prismacolor pencils and a bit of acrylic.
I like
and-
the kangaroo roundel.
Well, it's the RAAF, the
Oh.
Royal Australian Air Force. That's what their roundel looks
I
like.
did not know that was their actual
We're
roundel.
learning
That's
so much here.
that's great.
Now, one of the things I did screw up was I didn't look at the reference carefully enough. The roundel.
Can I take over for Mikey?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what were you saying?
The roundel is actually near the aft of the aircraft, not right under the canopy. So that's one of the wonderful things about having digital tools is I could actually move that back and fix it for the final cover. Anyway, so there's what the cover looked like, and then next slide, please. And there it is with all the type and so on it. And this was only available at the I think we had 100 copies available at the Supernova Comic Store, and they sold out right away. So the newsstand copy actually had a different cover, and this cover was on the back without all the type and so on. So you could have like both versions.
Sweet.
And then next slide, please. So here I am at the Supernova show in Brisbane. That's Duncan to my left, and beside him is Glenn Ford, who is our wonderful editor who pulled it all together. So yeah, it was just such a gas being with them.
It's
And
the Loud Shirt crew.
yes, it is indeed. That was that's my voodoo shirt. Dad flew voodoos. So big shout out to Duncan and his adorable daughter Scarlett and her mom Ange, who came to the show and just had such a wonderful time in their company. So there you go.
That's amazing.
Thanks for sharing, Ken.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for asking.
I have a question.
Oh, a question.
I'm not an expert on the Phantom. What was with the wolf?
Oh,
There was just like guy standing on plane. You did like 3 versions of sort of the same cover of
Right.
the Phantom standing on the plane, and then the third one had a wolf.
In the bottom.
okay. The wolf is the Phantom sidekick, and see now I can't forgive me. Somebody will tell me what is the dog's name because I'm not a huge. I don't know the Phantom lore that well. So what was the dog's name? See
Even though you've written.
sorry.
Even though you've written for the Phantom.
No, I didn't write the story.
you didn't write it.
No,
You
Duncan wrote the
illustrated
story.
the
I illustrated. Yes.
Devil.
Yes. Devil. There we go. That's it.
Okay.
It. Thank you. The whole conceit of the character is that they, it's the ghost who, who's the ghost who walks. Like he lives forever because every time he gets old, one of his sons or daughters becomes the Phantom. So it's the the character who never dies. And he wears 2 rings. One has a skull on it, So when he punches the bad guys, they get this reminder of their misdeeds because it leaves a little imprint on their
Right.
jaw. And then the other one is it's a curious cruciform symbol, which is about goodness and righteousness and all those kind of things. So yeah, so I went to a wonderful dinner of Phantom fans, and there was a guest speaker who had the greatest collection of Phantom rings. I mean, fandom is just, I adore it because it's just like, the dedication and excitement that it gives people, regardless of what it is that you're focused on. It's just energizing.
Nice.